Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So I got a question and I'll show you what was asked, and now we do something like this today. This effect here. I know this cascade effect is, we find it often in on many tutorials, so I think originally it was done by Grayscale Gorilla, by the guys of Grayscale Gorilla, but not really something like this. What I want to do is to make an animation like this and a loop animation. You see, this is kind of noise and something else. What you find on the net are these things here. So yeah, this normal cascade effects thing here. And as I said, I think the original one it was shown by the guys of Grayscale Gorilla, but yeah, this is a simple spline mask. We will use a spline mask too, but a little different. Okay, so let's make this. Is here from the Foam Studio, and yeah, they have a lot of nice things, of course. And today we will do this here. The guy who asked me about this thought this will maybe made with in R20 with fields and something else, but I don't think so. I don't think this is done with field because this is everything is a little too sharp for me, and then these steps here. I don't think that this is with field. Maybe it's possible with field, of course, but the easier way I think is with splines. So let's try this. And for the biggest thing is when we do it with splines, everybody can do it. So you don't have to have R20. So let's start. Of course, first I need a text spline. So you can normal text. I'm here in the middle and lay it down on the floor, make a fat text, so something like this. And so I do it with Nico, because so I have here an eye point here, so this looks funny. And we have here in the original one, we have an eye too in the thing here. So let's make it like this. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Next step. I want a spline mask with some moving shape in between this text here. So what I do is I make a circle and lay it on the floor, of course, and let's say a radius of 50 for the moment. And I put this circle in a cloner. Badam. Okay. And I want to clone in a grid array. So. But nothing in the y-axis. I need nothing in the y-axis. So, okay. And now I want a random effector. So I select my cloner. Go to the effectors and take a random effect. But I think it's better we do it with the shader effector, because in the shader effector I can do it with, I can work with a noise, and this noise I can loop. So let's make a shader effector. What I want is scale, yes, but in the other direction. So let's say the minus 0.9, and absolute scale is okay. Let's see what we get. Go to the shading, and here we put in a noise. Wink. Make the noise bigger here. So let's say 500. And yeah, we have something. Let's see the effector. The min max, I will go to minus 102, so okay, from 2 parameter is okay here. The shading, maybe, let's go here, at least the contrast. So you see now, we have here the different sizes. Okay, this is what I want. And I want to affect the position too. So I go to the position, just X and Z, not in the Y. And let's say here for maybe 100 by 100 for the moment. Or even less. 100 by 100 is okay, but let's go to the cloner. And bring the cloner here a little more together. So something like this. They should overlap here. So this looks quite nice. Alright, I take even more clones. We can do this however we want. And I want this whole cloner over the text here, so, and make the circle bigger. 100, yes, this looks good for me. And now I put this, let's hide the text for the moment. I want to make one shape out of these circles, so I put the cloner in a spline mask. Here. You see, the spline mask, the cloner is a child of the spline mask now. And here I go to along Y. You see, we have one shape now. This is exactly what I want. Okay, next step. Bring in the text here. And now I want another spline mask. I make a simple spline mask. And in this spline mask, I drop in the text and the spline mask here. Okay, again in Y-axis. And here, let's say, subtract. Or, and we can try this later. So let's start with subtract. Let's hide this for the moment and go to the cloner here. And in the shader effector, go to the shading. I want to animate the noise here. So I make here, let's say 0.5 and 8, give us 200 frames, a little bit. Okay, let's see what we get here. See, we get a moving shape here. This is exactly what I want. And now bring back the text and the spline mask here. Let's see what we get now. Okay, we can imagine this can be a text. Make it a little slower, the animation. Go to 0.1. Okay. We can go here a little up with the low clip, so we should see a little more of the spline. Okay, this looks good for me. Very interesting. And not so boring. And now I put this whole spline mask again in a cloner. Yes, in a cloner. So, okay, you see we have now the clones. And now the cloner I put in an extrude. That's me. Ha! Oops. Extrude. So I want to extrude, let's say 5 in the y-axis. Okay, and the cloner, I say go to the y is okay, but 5. The extrude, activate hierarchically, and you see we have 3 of them here. Okay, so far so good. Let's make more here. Per step 5 is okay. Let's make so 5. And now you see we have everywhere the same noise, let's say noise to it. but this is not what I want. So I go to my noise, and we are on texture. I want the noise, I want the 3D noise, so that we don't have a noise just in Y and just in Z and X. I want it in Y too. So I go here to world. And now you see what we get. This looks, of course, great. And if we animate this now, we get something like this. And this is exactly what I want. Okay. Really, really nice. I like it. Let's see here, go a little up here. Yeah, that looks nice. Just in the O here. That looks great. Okay, you can even try different things here, like go here from subtract to end. Get another effect, you see? The other ones, they won't work really good, so they're nice to watch, but this is too much. B subtract A. It's interesting too, because you have then everything but the text says, and union does not work, of course. This is okay, so I'll stay with subtract, and we have a very nice thing here. Now let's go to the extrude here, and let's make some barrels. So let's see the caps, filler caps with, let's see, 0.5, oops, 3.5, but we intersect now here, you see. This is not what I want, because then it looks like a blob when we render this. Let's see if it's true. You see, it looks like a block, and this is not what we want. So I go to my cloner and go here from 5 to maybe 6, because we have 0.5, so this is 0.5 here, 0.5 here, it's 1 centimeter, 6 should be fine. And now if we render this, we get this, and this is exactly what I want. Yeah, that's great. Good so far. What comes next? We are normally we would be ready. So you see, that looks good. Of course, when you work now, if you don't like the noise like it is, so go to the noise and play with the seed here. So you see, you get totally different thing here. Another seed, another seed. Of course, you can take another noise too. Let's try for fun another noise. It's cell noise. No, cell noise wouldn't work here. FBM. If you see something like this, you can go down with the octaves here. Let's say to 1, and you get a smoother. Because I'll show you what's happened when you see here the details, and if you go down with the octaves here, you get less detail, so it looks much more smooth, and then it looks like this. Let's see, what's that? Okay, some of the noises are not really good for this. Yeah, noise. Go down here. So you see, I can play and play and play and play. And I will stay with the normal noise here for now. and with the normal 670, don't know if this is looks quite nice for me. Maybe. And it works really great because it works fast, you see. It works smooth, it works fast, it works great. And you can make it with different shapes. You can make it with, let's say, instead of circles here, you can make, instead of circles, make a whatever, a hexagon or something else. Let's see. Let's make it here, bring out the circle, and name this just spline or something else. Doesn't matter. So I make here an instance of this circle. Let's go to instance and bring this instance in this cloner. So everything I drag in this instance will now work as this shape here. So let's see if it's true. See, this still works exactly like before. And now if I say, let's make, oopsie, an hexagon, bring it to the floor and make it smaller, 100, and drag it in the instance here. Oopsie. Boing. And you get a very interesting thing here. You can hide the splines. See, it's very interesting. Oh, that looks nice. Looks very sci-fi. And now you can make this with, okay, one more. Let's make it as a flower spline. Whoop. On the floor. Boing. 50. Oopsie, this is the wrong one. I make it here with T. I make it, oopsie. So like T for scale. Wrong. And 5 petals. And drag this in the instance here. Going. Now we have something SpongeBob-ish with flowers. Okay, that's too stupid, I know. So back with the circle. And you see how fast this works. This works so great. Just drag whatever you want in the instance, and you can make it little express, so just so that you have an user data where you can just drag any spline inside, so you don't have to search for this instance here. You can make a user data for the text, so you can change the text whenever you want. So because when you go here to say, don't know, fun, you see it works with. So no problem. Okay, but I want to stay with Nico for a moment. Wink. And let's see the original. Let's make here this frame here. So the frame. For the frame, we cannot make the frame so parametric because it's not possible. I will show you why. Let's copy the text out here. So we have our text, and we have one problem with this text. You see the text here, the text spline goes exactly not to the bevel, so not outside of the bevel, so it's a little smaller. What we could do is to constrain the extrude here, but extrude sometimes when I constrain it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it looks like it works. No, you see, you get big problems here. Even if when I say create single object, this is nothing, and when I say no constraint, but here with the single object we have some problems. So let's deactivate this. Okay. So what we can do is, I take this text. This is a little handwork now, but doesn't matter for us. What I can do is I make this text. I make a copy of this text, hide it, and make this one editable. C on the keyboard, editable. Now I go into point mode, right click, and say create outline. And I want an outline of, we know the bevel is 0.5. I want an outline of 0.5. Enter, boing. Now we have an outline of 0.5 here, see? And this is exactly what I want. Good so far. The next step is, I don't want the inside of this. So I go to my text here, right click, and say explode segments. Now we have some splines here. I delete the first one, so I have delete without children. This is when you right click, you can find this here somewhere too. It will be somewhere here. Now you know why I have everything in my toolbar. Delete without children here. Boing. Now I have here my text splines. And now I'm looking for the text splines I don't need. So go to the first one. See, this is the inside one. I don't need the inside one. Delete it. Boing. Next one. This is I need. Next one. Don't need it. This is the inside one. Next one. Don't need it. So I can make this a little bigger. So where have we been? Okay. Inside one, don't need it. Whoops. Inside one, don't need it. Whoops. So now we should have. This is an outside one. This is okay. To see it a little better, you could put everything in a null object here, Alt-G, and solo the null object. You can make the solo button here, or I have somewhere the magic solo, but not in this layout, so I go to this solo button, solo, single. Okay, this does not work. Let's see if it works with the Nitroman Magic Solo. Yeah, with Magic Solo it works, you see. Magic Solo you will find in the description. So now I see nicely what I need and what I don't need. This is the wrong one. I want this outside one. So we can delete this one too, and now I have the correct splines. And I am really happy with them. So plugin, Nitroman Magic Center. Not Magic Center, Magic Solo. Go back. You know what? I bring the Magic Solo here in the Shift F12. Search for Magic Solo, and bring it in my toolbar here. Make a group separator here. So I like it. And don't forget to save it, customization, save layout as. Not here, I have my own thing. I want it to save it. And backups, Cinema 4D, tutorial R20. Yep, okay. Done. So we have now our spline here. And I'll make one spline out of it, so bring all together, connect object and delete. Can do it with right click too. So bye bye, and I have my text here. Now let's see, we have the next problem. We are not on the floor here, so and that means we put now the spline is directly on the floor. This is on Y null, and that extrude goes a little over the floor, but in the floor is 5 millimeters of the bevel, no? So I go to my extrude and say here or here, the y-axis go 0.5 up, 0.5 up. So okay, now everything is aligned. Here I need an extrude. In the correct, so here not, here yes. Let's see how far. We want to cover this whole thing here. So something like here. And I want just the frame of this. So let's hide everything here for the moment. So I want just the frame of the extrude here. So what I do is, I could make this editable now. Yeah, we can make it editable. Not could, we can. Let's make it editable. So C on the keyboard or and optimize, or like I do it with my here with the edit optimize script. You will find in the description edit optimize that makes it editable and optimizes all the points. Next step, UN for a font selection. You see, it selects almost the edges I want, and it selects all of, now this is not what I want. So override functions, and let's try it with a small angle. This looks good so far, but this is still not what I want. Here this is okay. Good, these ones I can deselect by hand. Okay, I say select all. Whoop. Oh, these are the points I want, the edges. Okay, select all. Now this 9, I deselect what I don't like. I just want the outlines here, so don't need this, don't need this. This is okay, don't need this. With another font you would have less work, so this is okay. And here on the round things I want some more, so that our splines don't fly in the air. So I take this one, I take one here, I take one here. This is not really important which ones, so just zoopsie, and with the O we do the same. One here, one maybe here, one maybe here, so one here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And this one, okay, I'm happy. This is everything I want. And now I simply say edge to spline. You see here I have it in my toolbar, edge to spline. If you don't have it in the toolbar, you can go to mesh, I think, commands, and edge to spline here. Boing. This makes a spline out of our selection here, and we can delete this guy here, and we have our cage. And you see here I have some problems. This is not really what I like, but let's see if we can fix this. With MQ, I can stitch and sew. You see the point here in the middle. click somewhere in the, whoops, this is not what I want. Come on, everything together here. Whoops, okay. Let's come together right now. So I said, with another font you will get better or easier work. This was not really a good font for this, but what jails. So you see how we can fix other things, not just the easy ones. MQ, the easy ones everyone can do. MQ, delete these points here in the middle. I don't need them. Here, I don't need you. I don't need you. We have here, it looks like we have, but it shouldn't do anything. It was a little stupid of mine, but so you see how I fix this, if I fix it. Okay. Delete this. I hope we have this just on our N here. So, I love my new keyboard. The sound makes me happy. Good. That looks nice. Looks nice. Looks nice. Here. Looks not so nice. MQ, 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 MQ. With the space bar, you can select between, you can toggle between the last two tools, like here the live selection, the space bar, and which is you, live selection, space bar. This should it be. Okay. Was not so much work. Now we have different possibilities. We can make a sweep knob here, or we can render this with Hier if you want. With Hier it works faster, but with sweep knobs, when you want to make a metal cage or something else, it looks better. So let's make an inside with, let's say, 1 centimeter or 0.5 should be enough, and 8 sides, 0.5, not 5, 0.5. Bring the inside in a sweep knob, here, boing, and we have our sweep, and bring back our things here. Okay, now we don't need the splines here. Good so far. Now let's see what we get. Looks nice. Next step, I bring in my Nikomedias Scene Rig, of course, because it's easy to lighten up everything, but we don't have much problem. The only problem we can get is for you to get different colors for each block here, for each slice here. But we will see what we need to do. Good. Nikomedias Scene Rig. Boing. Hello. So immediately we should have, even without any things, we should get a nice, yep. Without, we don't need any texture at the moment. But now we need texture. Normally I would do it with some homograph shader here to get everything, but it's here not really possible because the cloner has no geometry here. We have just splines, you see. And with the extrude we can try to bring this in a fracture object, but I guess when you bring it in a fracture object, our animation won't work anymore. Let's test it. Like, select extrude and with Alt click on the fracture, boing. Let's see now. Okay, the animation works, but what we need is explode segments and connect. This looks not nice, and it destroys our animation. If we straight, we don't get the effect. To try it. Fracture object, and see we have here effectors. I select the fracture object and use a random effector for the color. So I need it in the parameter. I need just the color, effector color, and nothing else normally. And let's try the, yeah. This is with, because we are on straight. It would work when I go to explode segments and connect. We get different colors. And here explode segments is the problem. We get it on every, here on the top and here and other colors. This is not what I like. So I will try to make this differently. Not with the fracture and not with the random effector. So I delete the fracture here, so just the children without children. And we try it with a variation shader. Make a new material. I said it 1,000 times. Here this is just from the Nikomedias Scene Rig. This makes just a simply diffuse material. You see nothing is selected but the color, and that's it. And this is for plastic, metal, transparent, car paint, and real displacement texture. Good. And this all you will get with the Nikomedias Scene Rig. Yeah. Okay, with the Pro you get only until here. With the Ultimate you get the car paint and the real displacement. So let's go to the color and bring in an effects variation shader. And the variation shader is, we don't see it in the viewport, so we would have to bring it inside and now bring it on the extrude. Wing. Kinda works, but it does the same what I don't want. I want each slice one color, not here on the top face here and on the side another color. This is not what I want. We can here go to open, we are on objects. It works if we go to caps and say create single object. Now we have exactly what I want. But I don't want this, I want to make it with my own gradients, so not my own, I want to make it with gradients. Let's search for a gradient. Let's bring in something like this, some pastel colors. You see that does nothing. With why? First, gradient blend up to 100. Second, gradient mode replace. Boing. Now we have what I want. And the random color I bring back to 0. Good. Well, maybe I'll let it, because now these are the same color. When I go over to random up, we have different colors. Okay, this is okay. So. And I want some reflectance. Don't need the diffuse here. That looks nice already. That looks great. Let's make a material for our, like here a little better. Give you a material for our cage here. So make a new material, simple, it is a metal material. And for the metal material I need just the reflectance, no diffuse, under Fresnel just conductor. And here let's say chromium. Okay, maybe it's better when I put it on my cage. Swoop. Bing. Yay. We are done. And this should animate normally without any problems. Start it. Great. This is the only thing you can change everything easily, except the cage. So with the cage, because with the cage we don't want every edge as cage. Otherwise, it would be easy. So if you say, okay, it doesn't matter for me. I want every edge. So you can do it with. Let's see. We have the text here again. Show you this too. Why not? And then we will see if the variation shader works in Octane too. I don't know. I think yes. So or not? Maybe I don't know. So hide this. The cage here. We have again here our. I'll make a copy again. So text. This is the only thing you see. This is because of the extrude. Let's go. This create single object is this. You see. We can try to go down here to 40 maybe. Or what we can try is go here to the funk tag to 40 and use funk breaks. Nope. This will go to 10 here. That makes it better. But when I go to 10, we will see maybe this edges here. Oh, this is okay. You see again, sometimes it loses the reflectance channel. Oh, this is okay so far. Let's see if I go to 40. If we see this, yeah, we would see it. You see it? Let's go to 15. It's too less. 12. 13. 14. 15. 15 is too much. So I go to 14. If you see here the edges, you see, I simply go up with the steps here. Make 5 here and 5 here. It makes it a little better normally. Maybe no, not thousands. This is a little too much. Yeah, with 10 you see it looks then good. Yeah, with this we can live. And I want to show you what I mean when you say I want all the things. So I make again a quick extrude here. 10, 0, and here go up a little. You could make simply. Yeah, but now we would have to make this bigger again with the outline. You cannot make simply the text bigger 1.5. This does not work because it does not make it makes not the outline bigger. It makes the whole text bigger, and this works not. This can show you what I mean. So when we say we want the whole text bigger. Okay, let's go to the text spline here and 201, and this does not work. Why? You see, this is not what we want. But if you see, okay, it doesn't matter for me, you can simply put this whole thing in a atomary. Boing. 0.5, 0.5, and you have a quick gauge. It looks maybe not so bad too, so let's see. I'm bringing the atomary. Render this. Yeah, from the far, but you see here it intersects, and this is not what I want. So this is my thing. That's also I see, and you have all the edges, and this is not what I want. So I work a little bit, and then it's okay. Good. So I showed it this too, and bring back our sweepy hollow. So, and now let's try to make this whole thing with the Octane, and let's see if the shader works. So let's save this. Save it simply as text now. And yeah, good. What does it when I say first I delete the Nikomedias Scene Rig and bring in oh yes, and this layout I need my Octane dialog object, bring in an HDRI environment and simple disk here. Make the disk bigger, so okay. And in the thing here we give a HDRI. Okay, I don't need it. I just had a look at it, and then I deleted it. Good. Anything will do. So now I want my thing back live view. Then I don't need a live viewer, but okay. I need a live viewer, but I want here. This is okay. Path tracing is what I want. Let's see what we get. We get something, but not really something. So I try simply to save it again. To convert the materials. Convert materials. But I don't think that this will work. Now that we have the variation shader now in the diffuse, and this would be okay. This would be nice, but let's see if it works. It does not. We have the variation shader in here. It's the same thing with the same settings. Everything is correct, but it does not work on our thing here, on our object. That's a pity. Why do? I could try it here now with the. This is nothing. I cannot give here anything on the. What could I do? Does this work maybe with an... I try it. maybe it works somehow. This is a crazy idea, but maybe it works somehow. I bring this in a null, and under the null I bring in a correction deformer. The correction deformer makes an editable object out of my extrude here. Should make it. So if I go to the point spot, okay, I'm just here. We have, but I have just this, the first one here. I want everything. So let's try to give the extrude in a connect object. And then correction. Okay, now we have everything inside. So far, so good. And in the correction, now I cannot do anything here. This is nothing. The problem is, yeah, okay, then stop it here, and then good. This is very slow now. Do we find an idea for the octane render? You see, with the variation shader in the physical render we don't have any problems. Here it works, but it works very slow. And it works a little messy here too. This is not a solution. This is no solution. This is bye-bye correction deformer. Stop it. Bye-bye connect object. Bye-bye null object. Good. What could we do? Okay. I put it in the null object again, and I bring an random effector under the null. So, and this random effector should do nothing here, but it does nothing. So let's see if it deforms something. When I go here to objects, okay, it does something. This is good. And so now it could be that we can work with the mocap shader in Octane here. Let's see if we are. So now, bye-bye variation shader. The diffuse shader I put on the extrude. And now I go down here to the MoGraph color shader. Bring it in here. Let's see what we get. We get nothing. What a surprise. Not really a surprise. This is just kidding myself. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. There's nothing here. But it does not work like I wanted. The random effector works kind of because object. Because when I go to the parameters and here, see, it works. Go to 555. It's there, but it does not work for the color. Let's go from object to polygon. No. Maybe someone else has an idea how we could do. Yeah, we can do it, of course. We can do it. We could make this cloner editable. Yeah, that would be a possibility. So random away. So bye bye. Null object. Bye bye. Make the cloner editable. So I just see. Now I should have all these things inside here, and give everyone in an own extrude. So let's hide and let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. And with extrude I have the caps 1005, okay, 1005, 1005, 1005, and 5 here. I delete this extrude and okay. Now I select all the spline masks, and with Alt on the keyboard this works. I don't know if it works in Alt 18, but since R19 this works. If you select everything, and now with Alt selected I click on extrude, and you see it makes an extrude for every of our spline masks. So of course now I have to make this extrude this 5, 0, and in the caps, fillet caps, and 10.5, 10.5, create single object, and this should work. Okay, and if we put here the whole every extrude in a fracture object, this let's see if this works. Then if it's not again destroys our animation, we will see. Okay, extrude and the fracture object. A fracture object gets a random effector. You see that works, but we don't need the position, we need just the color. Verstanden. This is what I want. Animation works, yes. And now we have here again the color shader. Use the color shader inside. So let's bring this in the fracture object. Let's see. Live viewer. Make something and we're done. That works. Good. And here bring in between a colorizer. And the colorizer. Let's find a gradient we want. So this was this one. Nice, nice, nice. It does not specular. So glossy, it should glossy. But it will be because of the specular here. Let's go to float specular, and you see we get a specular here. And let's give it a little roughness, so something like that. And we have a nice metal material. What does it here? Basic, glossy, metallic, GGX. Everything is here a little. So, okay, and we have almost the same like before. In roughness a little here. So, okay, this is a little more complicated, but you see it works in Octane too. So we have here a nice thing. This is, don't like the metal here like it is. This won't help in the metal as far as I know, but let's see. Nope. Okay, nicer. Good, this works too. Little more complicated, but it's okay. And if you want to change the text here, okay, this is a little complicated, but I want to show you how we can make it easy. You can make, of course, for the text, again, an instance. So, let's say we bring out here every text object and take this text object, the first one, and take it out. Let's this is text for instance, and make an instance out of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have any sense. So, text for instance, bring this again, and this was the Spline Mask here. And now, copy this one in the Spline Mask here, delete the text. Copy it here in the Spline Mask, delete the text. So here we do the same, and you never will guess what we do here. Yes. Bye bye. Something looks strange now. Because why? Did I something wrong here? Spline Mask, why are these two Spline Masks? Aha, this has to be over the cloner. No. This is wrong, I think. Yep. Good. But something is wrong, still wrong here. So this is okay. This is okay. This is okay, and this is okay. Text for instance. Something went wrong here. For sure. Look at this. This is not what we had before. Let's bring in a test. spline text, spline cloner, circles and spline text, spline cloner. Somewhere must be a mistake. This is sure. Huh. Okay. Let's try. Woof. Good. This one is okay. Let's bring in the next one. And here we have the problem, it seems. So instance, Spline Mask, Union. No, Spline Mask has to be here. Yeah, Union is okay here. A subtract B, A subtract E along Y. This looks everything okay. What's wrong here? Something is wrong here. Is it a fracture? No, because it worked before too. It seems it's something with this Spline Mask. A subtract B, union. A subtract B, Y, union, Y. Sorry guys, but we have to find out. What I can do is delete this, copy this one, bring it up 6 centimeter. Let's see if this works. Normally I should have here now something. I don't even see the second one. Oh, I'm point mode here. This is okay. So now 6 centimeter. Oh, plus 6. Okay. Then the next one. Whoops. Plus 6 is plus 6 okay here? Yeah, seems like it is. Yep. Next one. Plus 6 and one more. Plus 6. Good. Now we have it. I don't know what went wrong before, but you see, we can fix our problem. We find a solution. Thanks for your help, guys. So it works now. And what I wanted to show you is if you want to change now anything. So we have here, I think now, this We don't need this. We want I said 14 and no from breaks. It's still around here, but it seems to be okay. Let's see. I go to 5 here. Oh, that is okay. So 40 is okay too. Yeah, it is okay. Nice. So what I wanted to say is, when you want to change now the text here in the middle. Okay, here we don't. You know, of course you have to make the text. Then if you want the frame, you have to make it. So no, now we do have to do nothing if we want to change the text. So here, test. Oops, and it's test. See, and the test should work. Of course, let's hide the frame here. That makes it. See, everything works. Other test. If you have a longer thing, a longer text, of course you have then, you see, the outside will not be affected, so you have to make the cloner here a little bigger, so that it's the cloner here goes over the whole text. And you can do this if you have to make this every cloner, of course. But you can simply go to here, select all cloners, and now make a selection object. Create a selection object. These are the cloners. See, we have all cloners inside. And if you want to change now the size of this cloner, you just, let's say now we are away. Go to the cloners and say restore selection. Now all the cloners are selected, and you have just to change here the number for all the cloners again. So together 500, and you see still not enough. 700, and now it works. And roop, and it works on everything. And okay, of course, when we have 700 here, so we can bring in here, let's say 5 clones, and we get this. And these selection objects, they are quite handy. If you don't want to work with instances, for instance, you can select all the text splines here, or the text splines, and make a clone object and change it like this. Or if you want, let's say we want to make another Spline Mask here instead of we have here the Spline instance. So let's go out. Good. The Spline instance, we have what do we have in the circle instance? We have the circle inside. So what we do is set of the circle. Good. I make area instance here. Circle instance, circle instance, circle instance, circle instance. Are they all? Yes, 5 is okay. Make another selection object. Spline instances with a small n here. Okay. So make everything small. Spline instance, restore selection. If you do a circle, let's bring in the n side. Boing, we get the n sides. We have our n sides in here. And so on. You see how easy this is. Go again to we want our circles. And I want text to an instance. This was Nico, So Nico, we have Nico here. Then we want the cloner again, a little smaller. Cloner, restore selection, go back here to 303. And we have everything like before. Bring back our frame. And we are done. Render it and be happy. And okay. So okay, I hope you like this. Sorry for this problem in the in the few minutes ago, but you see, we will always find a way to fix anything. Good. Yeah, if you have questions, if you have requests, if you have complaints, please let me know. And yeah, next tutorial of course will come soon. Now I start to disassemble or whatever. I start to make my PC new, so new mainboard and everything, and was not really necessary, but why not? And yeah, next tutorial will come. Please tell me if what you want to see. If I can make it, I will do it. Please tell me if you like this one. Please show me your results. I always like to see your results, guys, and they are mostly better than mine. So and yeah, so I can just say best regards here from Vienna. Wish you all the best, and yeah, so let's say tschüss und baba.